Hi, 7th graders. We are starting today with food chains and food webs. Please have the student sitting closest to the door pass out the food chain worksheet. Please have the student who is sitting closest to the colored pencils pass out 3 colored pencils to each student in the class. Pause the video until that is done. Now that each person has their supplies, please read aloud as a class the background information, starting with plants. Please pause the video. Please note the different types of energy transfers. Seeds are known as producers. They transfer all their energy to the sparrow, who is a consumer. In this case, the sparrow is the primary consumer and known as an herbivore. The sparrow transfers its energy to the hawk. The hawk is known as a secondary consumer and also a carnivore. Please read the following 2 paragraphs starting with some and pause the video. Now that you have finished reading about food webs and food chains, please look over the procedure. We will go over each of the sections in detail as it follows. As you can see, I have labeled the columns above the food chain to note what each section is. The plants on the left are all known as producers. The next consumed species is called a primary consumer. Then after, the following species that is consumed is called the secondary consumer. And last on this food chain, we have tertiary consumers, which eat the secondary consumers. Please note that each arrow represents the direction of how energy is transferred amongst the food chain. The next thing that we're going to do is start with the chipmunk, which is the first predator in the forest ecosystem. We are going to look through the food chains to see where the chipmunk lies. In the 4th food chain down, the chipmunk is the secondary consumer. The chipmunk eats the cricket. Therefore, on our prey, we need to make a check next to cricket since the chipmunk is eating the cricket. As I move down further, I note that the chipmunk is found in the 7th food chain. The chipmunk is consuming the plants. Therefore, its prey is plants, and I need to mark that column. This is how you should complete this table. For the next page, what you need to do is use your food chains to complete your food web. My suggestion is to unstaple these 2 pages right now so that you can easily see the data that is presented for the food chains. Let's do the first one together. The plants are consumed by the snail. Therefore, I am going to make a mark from the plant to the snail. The snail is then consumed by the mouse, as given in the first food chain. And lastly, the mouse is consumed by the raccoon. Please complete all of the food chains using different colored arrows to show the change of energy between the consumers. When you finish, turn the page over and answer the following questions.